Good afternoon and welcome to the Clover Connection portion of Extension Hour. My name is Rachel Cooper and I will be filling in for Caroline Cruz.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Preston Sturdivant and I am the 4-H agent in Anderson County.
Hi, Preston. I'm the 4-H program assistant that's here in Montgomery County. And today we're going to talk to you a little bit about 4-H. 4-H is a community of young people across America who are learning leadership, citizenship, and life skills.
Absolutely. And, Rachel and I are both former 4-Hers. Rachel, why don't you talk to us a little bit about some of the program opportunities that 4-Hers and their parents have or can explore here in the state of Texas?
Sure. 4-H is a way that kind of prepares youth and adults for the future. And we have several different project areas. The project is the main part of 4-H. And we have the animal projects, which is what a lot of people actually see 4-H as, the cattle, goats, horse, swine. We also have a dog project, but there's a lot more to 4-H than just that. We have creative arts, which is our clothing and textiles. We have a very large clothing and textiles project where you can purchase a garment or make a garment even, and then interview in front of judges, tell them how you did it, why you did it. It really gives kids that one-on-one interaction, and that's really what 4-H is about. We have engineering, which is rocketry and aerospace. We actually did a really cool project for National Youth Science Day where we built rockets, and the theme of it was to help a country in need. So they were small rockets where they actually were getting food, which was little raisins, to another country. And it was just a way to get their creative juices flowing. We also have healthy living. Our food and nutrition is a big part of 4-H because we have a very popular project called the Food Challenge. And what that is it's teams of 3 to 5, and they get together and just really learn a lot about nutrition. They really understand My Plate. They have an idea of how to cook mostly everything, because what they'll do is they'll get to competition and they'll be given a bag with ingredients in it. They have no idea what those ingredients are. They have no idea what they're going to get, and they have a certain amount of time to use those ingredients to the best of their ability, make a recipe. They don't have to follow any specific recipe. Again, it's getting those creative juices flowing and having them work together as a team. We have a lot of opportunities for leadership and citizenship. A big part of 4-H is community service, and so that helps them get their public speaking, their consumer education, all of that kind of wraps around into leadership, and that way we're building the leaders for tomorrow. That's really what we're trying to do. We want our youth to be prepared for the future and to also do well and thrive in the future. We have outdoor education. One of the big things we have going on here in Montgomery County is our shooting sports program. They are very, very active. We have a very large archery group, and they really, really enjoy going to the different competitions. They are all about safety as well, so they're learning how to properly and safely shoot. We have sport fishing. We also have plants and gardening, we have a program called Junior Master Gardeners. It's a way for our youth to be involved and realize that the food that we put on the table comes from somewhere. So that's a great opportunity. We also have a great science. Here in Montgomery County, we actually got started a robotics program, and the kids really love it. They have Lego kits that they are beginning to put the robots together, and we've just started programming them, and they're going to get to take that to contests and kind of show what they can do. They're using their engineering skills. We have the Science, Engineering, and Technology program, which they get to build posters. They're really doing kind of a science fair, but with a little bit of a 4-H twist, and just really getting to know what they're interested in. Preston, like you mentioned, we were both in 4-H. What do you think 4-H did for you to prepare for college and your career?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. One of the things that's great about 4-H, not only does it help you with your internal skills, like your personal development, your leadership, things like that. It also gives you an opportunity to reflect back at the end of every year. We do, most 4-H'ers, many 4-H'ers participate in something that we call a 4-H record book. And what this does, it gives 4-H'ers an opportunity to, like I said, think back, reflect, and really internalize all the things that they got out of last year's projects. And just thinking about how that one specific record book and the process that you go through really can help you transition into the next stage of your life when you're out of 4-H. For me personally, it was college. I graduated from Texas A&M, and the 4-H record book process was so helpful. When I think about all the things that I had to do, and how that parallel to preparing myself to get into a college and when I was applying. So some of the things are resume building, utilizing, I guess when you build your resume, so much of, as a youth, your 4-H story and all the activities and the things you get out of it are going to go on your resume. And for you kids out there who are preparing to maybe get a job or go to college, if that's what you are meant to do and are trying to do, I really want to talk really quickly about some of the things that you can utilize to help prepare yourself if you are a 4-H'er, and things that you can think about. On that point of resume building, utilizing your school counselors, looking online for different templates. Online is such a great resource that we have at our disposal, and kids can use and go online and find templates and things like that to help them with wording and how to make a really, really good-looking resume. Again, if you are a 4-H'er, and even really if you're not a 4-H'er, utilize the extension office. There are professionals in that building who would be more than glad to help look over your resume and help you critique it and things like that. Again, the purpose of a resume is to brag on yourself and put those accomplishments, things that you're proud of, things that you've done in your high school years and even, in some cases when you were younger. So just a great opportunity for that and things that we use out of our record books. Another one that I wanted to talk about was some mentors. If you are a young person and you're in the 4-H program, or maybe if you're not, I would highly encourage you to look into the 4-H program. Certainly a plug, but think about your mentors and people that would write you good letters of recommendation. Again, this is, we're talking about college prep, we're talking about career prep, and in many cases you will be asked for an opportunity to give letters of recommendation. And so these can be, some teachers that you got really close with, that maybe you enjoyed their class and you did really well in, maybe some youth activity leaders, something along those lines. And the last one I wanted to talk about was interviews. Interviewing is such an important skill, and note, I think that it really is a skill. It's something that you can learn. It's usually not something that you are just born good at, but over the years with practice and things like that, you can really get good in interviews. And again, I want to encourage you to utilize your school counselors. And another really, really good resource that I never really thought about until pretty recently was YouTube. Go on YouTube. There are so many good examples of little critiques and bullet points to help you get really good at doing interviews. Another piece, or something else that Rachel and I, both experienced as 4-H'ers. Again, this is not really too many years ago. We're not that far out. But scholarships, and that the scholarship process that you go through is really another opportunity that the resume building, the mentors, the letters of recommendation, and then the interview is a huge portion of the scholarship. And sending in applications that ask you about your life skills and what you've learned and what you've accomplished are just a huge piece of the 4-H project, and a lot of people really take advantage of that. One other thing that I really wanted to talk about, as a youth, you don't really think about it, but how can the parents be supportive of their kids and the way that they develop and the way that they get ready for the next stage in life? And specifically in the 4-H program, first and foremost, we would like every adult to, sign up as an adult volunteer. You can do that online, and it's very, very easy to do. And the good thing is that you don't have to be an expert at anything. we can train you. Extension can train you how to do just about anything that you and your kids are trying to get involved in the 4-H project. I think that scares a lot of people away, and I want to just make it known that you do not have to be an expert by any means, and that we can find resources to help you. Next, just be open and allow your children to get involved in new things and to try new opportunities. That's really the purpose of 4-H, or one of the purposes of 4-H, is to allow your kids to try new things, figure out what they like, figure out what they don't like, and again, develop those skills and develop that leadership that they're going to need later on in the future. And that's actually some of the things that we're going to talk about in the next segment, are maybe some of the things that Rachel and I took away through our years of 4-H that we do apply now, and we're thankful 4-H for bringing us. So we're going to go ahead and go to break, and we'll talk about that in the next segment.
Heaven's Army of Resources and Recreation Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization featuring a 10,000 square foot building located at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas. At Heaven's Army, we offer over 26 different services free for all ages, from karate, dance, drug and alcohol classes, anger management, parenting, food and clothing pantries, to just name a few. We are supported solely by volunteers and private donations. Our main mission is to glorify God in all that we do. At Heaven's Army, we strive to be a hand up, not a handout. Come check us out at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas, or call for more information at 281-689-5864. You may also learn more about Heaven's Army by visiting our website at heavensarmyofresources.com.
Howdy, howdy, folks. Cable Smith, host of the Lone Star Outdoors Show, inviting you to join me Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 on Lone Star Internet Radio for Texas' premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor talk show. So pour yourself another cup of coffee and pull up that stool a little closer to the old campfire, because if you can catch it or kill it in Texas, we're going to talk about it. That's right. Bucks and ducks, gobblers, monster bass, redfish, trout, and a whole lot more. Plus, you never know what outdoor celebrity is going to drop by, from Phil the Duck Commander Robertson to fishing legend Bill Dance, or everybody's favorite uncle Ted Nugent. Heck, we might even mix in an interview and hear some brand spanking new Texas music from one of your favorite Texas musicians like Robert Earl Keen, Brandon Ryder, or the honky-tonk kid himself, Aaron Watson. Loved or hated but never ignored, it's the Lone Star Outdoors Show with me, Cable Smith, Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 right here on Lone Star Internet Radio on irlonestar.com.
I'm Lieutenant Bob Berry with the Conroe Police Department, reminding you that drinking and driving do not mix. Drinking and driving causes an alcohol-related fatality every hour in the United States. Stay sober and stay alive.
SPCA PetSnap of Montgomery County is a 501c3 all-volunteer-based rescue and adoption organization with a no-kill policy for healthy and adoptable animals. Our goals are fourfold: to rescue and rehabilitate homeless animals, to provide a safe haven for the animals until a suitable adoption or foster care home is found or until they are reunited with their owner, to educate the public about the great need to reduce pet population, which includes the importance of having their pets spayed and neutered, and to further the cause for humane and responsible pet ownership, and to provide a low-cost spay-neuter clinic for people who are unable to afford to spay or neuter their pets otherwise. SPCA PetSnap of Montgomery County encourages you to think adoption first. You can contact us at www.spcaofmc.com.
And we are back this afternoon with our Clover Connection as part of the Extension Hour. Again, my name is Preston, and I'm here with Rachel. And a resource that I wanted to give out that I did not give out the last time, for more information on the 4-H Youth Development Program in the county, you can call our 4-H office at 936-539-7823, and you'll go to Extension 3, or you can find us online at AgriLife, AgriLife.org/Montgomery 4-H. And right now we're going to talk about some of the things that 4-Hers can learn as part of the 4-H program. And I'm going to have Rachel kind of explain some of the things that 4-Hers can get out of this program.
Absolutely. 4-H has tons of different things that you can learn and take away while having fun, because that's a big part of 4-H. We definitely want to have fun, get the kids involved, but also teach them something that can be a lifelong skill. One of the things that I know that Preston and I both experienced were going to camps, and that was a big thing because you kind of learn to be away from home, and that was a big deal, especially as a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old getting involved. You're meeting all different kinds of people. You might have to take care of your own laundry, just small things that you don't really think you're learning, but you are. There are so many different great opportunities out there. You can work on your personal responsibility, work hard on the different projects that you have going for you. Say, for example, you're working with an animal. That's a big responsibility, but so is even if you go into clothing and textiles and you're going to make yourself a garment or make someone else a garment. You have to work hard and actually have really good organization for that. All of these projects, though, really prepare you on how to speak in public or public speaking, because we are giving you that interview experience. It's nothing to be scared about. It's actually something to, again, learn from. You're going in and talking to these judges who either have no idea what you're about to tell them, they don't have any experience in it, and some do, but they want to learn too. They want you to tell them about your experience. You don't have to be nervous about it or anything. You can just really go in and say, this is what I did with my project. This is what I really learned from it. I had a great time doing it, and this is what I'm going to take on in the future years. We also really, really work for leadership opportunities. Maybe put them in a team organization, see who rises to the top. Also, how to work as a team in real life. Again, the food challenge was an example, but we have all different kinds of things. Even if you have a horse judging team or a livestock judging team, those are things you're working as an individual, but you're practicing and preparing for that as a team so that when it comes time for those scores, you're confident in your team and you're able to work together. Speaking of actual skills, there was horsemanship, livestock judging, consumer decision making. Those are things that you learn along the way. For example, if you decide to go into the livestock industry as a career, you're going to be able to pick that livestock that you want. Consumer decision making is always a big one because we go shopping all the time, whether it be for groceries, whether it be for clothes, whether it be for cosmetics such as toothbrushes, those kinds of things. And being able to shop smartly and use your money wisely is always something that you can carry with you for a lifetime. Preston, why don't you talk to us a little bit about some of the things you learned?
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to what Rachel was talking about, and how to work as a team. I think that might have been one of the greatest things that I took from 4-H was, surrounding myself with good people who were like-minded, and we were all there to learn. But building those team relationships, those team-building skills, learning to trust one another, learning how to communicate effectively, learning how to, in a practical sense, learning how to take notes, learning how to take what people say and how to then pass that along to another group of people, learning how to properly write an email, learning how to stand up in public. Like Rachel said, public speaking it's kind of a lost art form to a lot of people because, we sometimes don't give each other the opportunity to do it. But public speaking is such an important aspect, and it just goes on to help you be successful in so many other things inside of school and outside of school. Like Rachel said, the actual skills, not just the personal development, but the actual skills. she mentioned things like horsemanship. That is an actual skill that somebody can take after they graduate from high school, and you can turn that into a money-making thing. You can turn that into your means of living. And so that's what I think is so special about the 4-H program, is that not only does it help you to develop skills, and I know we keep pounding this in, but that's what I think is so special, is that you can learn ways to develop yourself in ways that will develop you or that will carry you on past your days of youth, past your days of adolescence. So real quick, Rachel, we talk about kids going through the 4-H program and then making that transition out of 4-H, and that's something that you and I can sort of speak to on a personal level, because we've both been there and we're kind of in that next stage of life. If you would, really quickly, Rachel, how can young people be successful and learn to make good decisions? I know good decision making is definitely something that is helpful for kids in a lot of ways, keeping them out of trouble, keeping them busy, things like that. What is it that you see? What's your opinion? How can kids learn to make good decisions?
Absolutely. I definitely think getting involved is the number one thing. And of course, we're here to talk about the 4-H program, so definitely I would get involved in 4-H, but get involved with really anything and surround yourself with good people, good disciplined people that you can learn from, that you don't necessarily have to just have them to have a good time with, maybe that and learn from them. It's always a good feeling to know that you accomplished something, but there was someone right there by your side doing it with you as well, or that did the exact same thing. Again, like you said, we both came through this program, and I look at it as, Preston, I've known you for several years, and actually looking back at it, when I was on the district council, you are the one that handed the gavel down to me. So that's kind of just like a way, like, I made it and so did he. So it's very a way to pride yourself and pride the people around you. I also think it's very important that you balance yourself. It's very school, personal time, 4-H, or whatever activity you happen to be involved in. Make sure you're balancing those, because you don't want to get in over your head or overbook things, and you want to maintain good relationships with your club, your community, but also with your professors or your teachers in school. You don't want to end up procrastinating on a project or for school or for 4-H, and you don't want to kind of leave anyone hanging. One of the things that was really important for me was being on a council that was even club or an officer team. On the club level especially, because those are the people you're going to see more often. But then on the district level and state level, you're working with those people, and all of you have a goal in mind, and you're all working towards the same goal. And again, I surrounded myself with those people, and those are people I'm still very close with. Like, I have lifelong friends from that, and they're succeeding in their own ways, and so am I, and that's just something to look forward to. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about how me and Preston kind of took those skills that we got from 4-H, our own personal experiences, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. For more information on the 4-H Youth Development Program in Montgomery County, again, you can call the 4-H office at 936-539-7823. We're extension number 3. Or you can find us online at AgriLife, AgriLife.org/Montgomery4H.
I'm Lieutenant Bob Berry with the Conroe Police Department, reminding you that texting and talking on the phone while driving are not only dangerous, but also illegal in school zones and other posted areas. Drive safely and alert.
Heaven's Army of Resources and Recreation Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization featuring a 10,000 square foot building located at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas. At Heaven's Army, we offer over 26 different services free for all ages, from karate, dance, drug and alcohol classes, anger management, parenting, food, and clothing pantries, to just name a few. We are supported solely by volunteers and private donations. Our main mission is to glorify God in all that we do. At Heaven's Army, we strive to be a hand up, not a handout. Come check us out at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas, or call for more information at 281-689-5864. You may also learn more about Heaven's Army by visiting our website at heavensarmyofresources.com.
Hey, this is Cindy Cochran, and now Conroe can boast of another first. The first morning live talk show, 10 to 11 a.m. Monday through Friday, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio, coming straight out of the fabulous downtown Conroe, Texas. Be the coolest guy at the water cooler, or the most informed break room dweller by listening to the fun side of the news, local, national, infinity, and beyond. The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio here on irlonestar.com. Montgomery County's community radio station. Is the bottom of the hour, and we're going to be doing weather and traffic and get you back to the extension hour with the Clover Connection. Right now, it's around 56 degrees outside. Humidity's at 20%. The detailed forecast for this afternoon is sunny with a high of 58 with southeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Later on tonight, unfortunately, there's a 40% chance of showers after midnight, and then increasing into the morning. The low is going to be around 32 degrees. Don't forget, it's going to be nice this weekend after this rain. So please enjoy your weekend. The average high this weekend is going to be around 58 and the low of 32. Traffic conditions in the Montgomery County area, looking at I-45 northbound and southbound between Spring and Willis, you're good to go both directions. I do not see any accidents or incidences all across the county. So 242, 105, and 1488, you're good to go all the way across Montgomery County. We're going to get back to the extension hour right after these messages. Stick around.
Hello, Montgomery County. I'm Rachel Baldwin with Special Olympics Texas, Area 6. Are you a fan of courage? Are you a fan of determination? Are you a fan of acceptance, grace, and skill? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics. Make it official. Volunteer, coach, and or compete and be a fan of dignity and acceptance. The dedication of our Special Olympic Texas volunteers provides mainstreaming experiences for athletes with intellectual disabilities. You will touch the heart of another person, and it will move you in a meaningful way that lifts the spirit. Please visit the Heart of East Texas Area 6 webpage at www.sotx.org. Also, like us on Facebook to be a fan and be part of Special Olympics Texas.
Doing business since 1985, Assistance League of Montgomery County is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization where all proceeds stay in Montgomery County. We are proud to sponsor 10 philanthropic programs that enhance the lives of those in our community. Visit our thrift shop at 126 North San Jacinto Street in downtown Conroe or call us at 936-760-1151. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
As part of the extension hour. We are here today, myself, Rachel Cooper, and Preston Sturdivant, and we've kind of already discussed what 4-H has to offer and what you can take from 4-H. Preston, you are kind of a living, breathing product of the program, and why don't you kind of tell us how you got to where you are and the careers and the career path you're on and the skills you learned from 4-H?
Sure. That's something that's so special about 4-H. There's so many things. I know I keep saying that and we keep mentioning, but the great thing is that everybody's 4-H career is exactly what they make it, and it's as special and as individual as that person. And so I thoroughly enjoyed my time as a 4-H'er. I actually started off doing shooting sports in Brazos County. That was my first club. I started doing that. That really got me going and appreciating and loving what the 4-H program was all about. I met some of my greatest friends in that 4-H experience, that very first one. From there, I sort of dabbled in the 4-H horse project. My mother actually got really involved and started a 4-H mounted drill team in Brazos County, and I joined that sort of by default. I really didn't have a choice, seeing as she was the coach, but she really got me into the animal projects, and from there I increased my horsemanship skills. I started practicing a whole lot more, getting better at riding, being a much more confident rider. And like I said, learning those horsemanship skills, those are skills that I'll be able to take with me for the rest of my life. Being able to handle a horse safely and being able to ride the equine animal is something that not everybody can do, and I'm very, very glad to say that I can with at least some competence because of my 4-H years. After I sort of got a little bit older, I started to see the opportunities that were in front of me in my county. So, and 4-Hers will know what I'm talking about when I say, got involved on the county council and really, like I said, expanded some of my interests. I got really, really interested in, what it meant to be a servant of the county and what the service aspect of 4-H was all about. And so, and really enjoyed the leadership part. I enjoyed those skills that you learned, leading meetings, conducting small group sessions, parliamentary procedure. These are all skills that you just wouldn't get. You wouldn't get in other, in, for instance, high school sports necessarily. Not that I'm knocking high school sports. I'm certainly not doing that. But anyway, these are just skills that you might not necessarily get to explore in other organizations, and 4-H does allow you to explore those. From there, I gradually just became more interested. I got involved on the district council, which is a conglomeration of the counties in our area, and got involved in some of those projects and some of those leadership opportunities. And then from there, I was actually able to represent our district on the state council, which is just a collection of youth 4-Hers, senior age 4-Hers, who represent the state of Texas at different state events. So your major livestock shows, your Texas 4-H state roundup, and that was just one of the highlights of my high school career, I think, and easily the highlight of my 4-H career was just being able to represent my county and my district and getting to know those people. And some of those people are some of my friends. I still keep in touch. I see what they're up to in life, and it's exciting to look back and see how those people are doing. Like Rachel said, I loved 4-H so much. I like to think I loved 4-H so much that I actually decided to go back and make a career out of it. I am going to go and serve and work as the 4-H Extension agent up in Anderson County, simply because if I could help kids enjoy 4-H and get as much out of 4-H, even half as much as I did, I really think that will help those kids be better adults when they grow up. If they can remember, just some of the things that they are going to get out of 4-H if they really put themselves into it, that will serve them well. I truly believe that. I'm very, very excited to go and serve those kids and those adults and just serve as a resource, as a small piece of what Extension is. But again, I'm very, 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 very excited about that. And Rachel, why don't you, we're very similar. We did a lot of the same things, but I know yours is different. You apply them differently. Tell me about your journey through 4-H and kind of what you've been able to get out of it and apply.
Of course, yeah. I started 4-H when I was 9 years old. I didn't go the shooting sports route. I actually went the clothing and textiles route, and that's something that me and my mom, she taught me how to sew at a young age. And for the next 11 years, I sewed my own garment, took it to like Preston said, there are different levels to 4-H. There's the club, county, district, and state levels. And I would take that to my contests. I took it to the county contest and would win. And then, luckily enough, was able to go on to district. And then once I was a senior age level 4-Her, I was able to go on to state contest. And that was just something me and my mom, again, the positive relationships and a life skill, I can sew. And that's something that a lot of people can't do anymore. From there, I got really involved in the club. Once I was old enough, I became an officer, learned all about parliamentary procedure. wanted to get involved more on the county level, so joined county council, was elected, and you kind of have to move your way up the chart is the best way I can explain it, which it kind of relates a lot to what you have to do as an adult in everyday life when it comes to your job and your career. And so was able to serve on the county council as chairman. And that same year was also able to serve as the district chairman. And because I was the District 9 chairman, I was able to be on state council. On state council, it's 2 to 3 people from each district that is representing that district as a whole. And I was lucky enough to be able to do that with 2 of my really great friends that I still stay in contact with. On state council, I was able to serve as the health and safety officer, which was a pretty neat experience. Preston even got to serve as the chairman on state council, which is a huge, huge honor, even though he won't admit that. But it really is. It's something that a lot of people, especially younger 4-H'ers, I mean, I was only a year younger than Preston, but I looked up to him for that. And you're not only being a positive role model in younger children's life, but people that are the same age as you, and you're doing good for yourself. I graduated high school and really didn't know what I wanted to do with my career or with my life at that point. I hadn't even really decided where I wanted to go to college. I ended up deciding to go to Sam Houston State University, which was a really great choice for me. And the summer of my freshman year, Christy Tietzman, the county agent there in Walker County, actually reached out to me to do an internship for her 4-H position. And she really just kind of knew me because when I was on district council, she was one of the advisors. She said, I really need help getting this 4-H program kind of organized, working with the kids. I need someone that's lived it and breathed it. So I was able to intern for Walker County 4-H. I did that for that entire summer. And at that time, in Montgomery County, the 4-H program assistant position opened up. At the time, it was part-time. And of course, I jumped at it because I had never even imagined a life working in Extension. I knew that I loved the 4-H program, but it just had never clicked to me to maybe have a career in Extension. And that's what I'm actually working towards now. I am currently still going to Sam Houston State University, but my position as the 4-H program assistant here in Montgomery County has got moved to full-time. I absolutely love it. I'm getting to basically do everything I did in 4-H, but as an adult. And that's just something that I can say I wake up and I get to go to work. I don't have to go to work. I'm not being forced to go to work because I have to pay bills. I get to go to work because I really, truly love my job. And once I do have my degree, I do plan to become a 4-H agent, hopefully somewhere near, but wherever is going to be just really rewarding for me as a person. It's something that I never considered, but I was lucky enough for that to kind of fall into my lap and work out really well for me. And I used all of those skills along the way because I was involved and surrounded myself with people that I knew and had a positive surrounding. I was able to land an internship, and then from that just kind of go on. I interviewed. I had to speak in front of my now bosses, and it's just something that 4-H easily taught me. At one point, I would not have even been able to speak to my best friend sitting next to me without other people hearing. And now I'm able to go into after-school programs and different things and teach 4-H members and youth about the 4-H program and different life skills. It's just something that I really hold near and dear to my heart. When we come back, we're going to talk about some things coming up in Montgomery County and as well as District 9 with the 4-H program. For more information, you can contact us at 936-539-7823, extension 3, or you can check us out online at agrilife.org/Montgomery4H.
Are you interested in learning more about preparing quick, healthy, and safe meals for your family? Would you like to spend time with others learning tips and tricks, along with practicing and tasting nutritious food? If so, the On the Road to Healthy Living Mobile Cooking School is for you. Call Amy Ressler at Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service at 936-539-7825 to find a class near you or volunteer to host a class.
Have a legal question? Are you a resident of Montgomery County? Call 281-645-6344 to talk to a volunteer attorney from the Woodlands Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
Tune in every Sunday night right here on Lone Star Internet Radio for adventure, romance, thrills, chills, and everything vintage radio drama can bring. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour comes to you every Sunday at 7 p.m. with brand new episodes monthly. Our productions always feature actors, music, and sound effects performed completely live. And now you can enjoy seeing each new episode performed on stage at the Owen Theater in Conroe. Check out www.irlonestar.com for information about upcoming episodes. Relive the glory days of vintage radio drama right here with the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour on Lone Star Internet Radio.
Did you know there are more than 790 abused and neglected children currently in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Allie Stevens with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. We train and support volunteers to be the voice of children in the foster care system. Kids removed from their home because of abuse and neglect, and we need volunteers just like you to advocate for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com. That's CasaSpeaksForKids.com.
Welcome back to Clover Connection as part of the Extension Hour. I'm Rachel, and I'm here with Preston, and in just a little bit we're going to talk about things that are coming up in the 4-H program. But before we do that, Preston, why don't you give us a little bit about the importance of your growth and leadership skills and your involvement in service learning?
Sure. When you take a step back, you have to think, so what's the point? What's the purpose? Why are we in this program? We're putting so much time and so much effort, so many resources into these kids. And if you are a 4-H'er, you're saying, man, I spend so much time, at these meetings and practicing my judging and whatever program you happen to be doing, so much time out on the range shooting. You have to ask yourself, what's the purpose? So I want to, this is a message straight to you high school kids, whether you're in 4-H, whether you're not, that's okay. The point is, your next step in life, those people are going to be looking for folks who understand these values and have developed these internally. So your boss wants to know that you're a leader. Your boss wants to know that you've developed things like personal responsibility, things like integrity. Your boss is going to trust you and allow you opportunities to move up if he sees that you have proven yourself. And 4-H is a way that you can get started on those things. Like I said, when I was applying to go to different schools and going through the application process, really it was so simple because I just took all of the skills that I had learned from applying to 4-H, different 4-H awards and different interviews and things like that, applied them to my next, my 4-year curriculum at Texas A&M, and things just came much more naturally to me. They just clicked because that was not the first time I'd ever done it. So you really have to look at what you're doing, look at your time as a 4-H'er and say, okay, now how do I apply this to the rest of my life? And that's the purpose, that's the point. That's going to help you go on to be a productive member of society, and they lead to bigger and better opportunities as you grow in your career, whatever you decide to do, as you go on to develop your family, things like that. I was thinking back the other day at some of the some of my favorite service projects that we did, and really two came to mind, and interestingly enough, they were all centered around sort of a holiday theme. So one, I know that really it was just our pleasure as 4-Hers to get involved in something that was ongoing. It was called the MASH Toy Drive, and it was a big ordeal where put on by a local radio station to collect toys for kids in the holidays who wouldn't normally be able to look under their Christmas tree and see a present there for them. And so, what a great opportunity to help kids that who are going through situations that maybe you can't imagine that thankfully you've never had to go through yourself. But what a great opportunity to collect money and raise money and go buy these toys and go drop them off and just see the excitement at the kids who are going to receive those toys and the volunteers and everything like that. What a great opportunity. The next one was really centered around Thanksgiving, actually. Again, kind of a holiday theme, but our club would always collect money or do some sort of service to collect money and then go and adopt a family and buy their Thanksgiving dinner. You just think about why Thanksgiving is so important, spending time with family and thinking about why you're thankful for them, and such a big tradition in our life around Thanksgiving is the meal. And so you sit down and you eat meals. Well, to be able to provide that for another family is just so special, and it's something that sticks with you forever, and I know that I'm always going to remember that. Rachel, thinking back to your time as a 4-H'er, can you think of any of your favorite service projects?
Absolutely. One that really stuck out to me, because you said you've never, a lot of those things we don't experience, but actually, unfortunately, I have had family members that have had to go through the breast cancer fight. And one of the big service learning projects that I did was, because I was in clothing and textiles and I was learning how to sew, is we created ouch pouches. And what those were we learned how to sew, and so we sewed these things that looked like purses. They had the same shape, the same style, but they were made out of soft material, and we stuffed them with cotton for people that had gone through breast cancer and had had a procedure and needed comfort under their arm, like you carry a purse. And so we made those and donated them to women that had actually gone through that. Another one that we did, they were called twisty turbans, and it was a very pretty, very elegant type of turban that we sewed and created and were able to donate to cancer patients that had lost their hair. It was just definitely something you hold near and dear to your heart. Like you said, it's something that you can feel good about yourself and kind of gives you purpose for what you're doing. And almost every project that we do in 4-H has something for that. Like you said, the food and nutrition project, you donated food for Thanksgiving. Clothing and textiles, we did that. Shooting sports does thing. Horsemanship does thing. And we also do that on the club, county, and district levels.
Absolutely. Such a special opportunity. Well, Rachel, why don't you spend just a little bit of time talking about some of the things that are coming up in both District 9 and locally in the Montgomery County 4-H area?
Yes, Montgomery County, again, like I said earlier, there are levels to 4-H. There's your club, county, district, and state level. So you're on your club level. Those clubs meet once a month, and they kind of get together. They all have same interests or similar interests. And then you go to the county level. And so on March 29th, we're having our county 4-H roundup. That doesn't mean you're getting a horse and a rope and rounding things up. No, that's just a catchy name that we gave for it. And that's where where we're going to hold all of our different contests. For example, our food show, our fashion show, our public speaking, share the fun, those kinds of things. We're going to kind of do it mixer style. We want to have a lot of fun this year because we actually have district roundup in our backyard, and I'll get to that in just a little bit. But on that Montgomery County level, again, we're having our roundup March 29th, and we are going to have judges come in and judge these kids. We are looking for volunteers to help run and judge the contest. So if you're interested, you can call the 4-H office at 936-539-7823, extension 3. We can always use help because 4-H is a program that heavily relies on its volunteers. Then again, on April 29th and 30th, we have another roundup, but this is District 9 4-H roundup. So we're moving up a level from the county level to the district level. And like I said earlier, we're super excited. Montgomery County is hosting it this year, and it'll be at the Lone Star College. It's a great family event. We have, again, all of our contests. We'll have tours of the Lone Star College. We'll have educational workshops. There's a barbecue cook-off. A lot of things for you to be involved in. Again, another place for you to volunteer if you're interested. We're looking for judges for the different contests, such as food show, educational presentations, and it's really rewarding as an adult to see young kids work and their hard work and what they've been preparing for so long. And that's going to be district contest is in preparation for our state contest, which will be June 6th through 9th. It's a great opportunity for you to come out. We have things going on. Even if you're not involved in 4-H, come and see what it's all about. Come. We're going to have different games and things going on inside and outside all around the campus. So come and give that a look. If you have any other questions or would like more information on the 4-H Youth Development Program in Montgomery County, call the 4-H office at 936-539-7823, extension 3, or find us online at AgriLife, AgriLife.org/Montgomery 4-H. Thank you for spending time with us today, and this was the Clover Connection as a part of Extension Hour.
Thank you for checking out a podcast on Lone Star Internet Radio. Lone Star Internet Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station, broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas. If you are interested in sponsoring a program for Lone Star Internet Radio, just visit us online at irlonestar.com or message us on Facebook. We are always taking song requests on Twitter, and if you are interested in getting involved with the station by either hosting your own show or if you want to be a DJ, just contact Dick at irlonestar.com. Lone Star Internet Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station.